Hi there. My name is Kaya, and I am Peer Support Volunteer Coordinator for the Foundations and Pathways Program, which is a joint initiative between KIND, Trans Health Information Ottawa, and Planned Parenthood Ottawa. And I use she or Z pronouns.
My name is Rika, and I am doing health system navigation as part of that same project, and I'm a community organizer with Theo. Today is the 25th of May, 2017, and we are here to do a quick video summary of tonight's town hall meeting.
Mm-hmm. So basically, we started off the meeting with reviewing what was discussed previously, and that really involves the governance structure of Theo and what we want that to look like going forward. And so, we kind of discussed, having an executive team in addition to caucuses of that represent different identities, so like trans feminine folks or QDPOC or Indigenous people, in addition to working groups who do specific action tasks, and just kind of thinking about who's responsible for what and the drawbacks of different approaches to governance. And so we kind of did that. After that, we talked about Theo as being part of a bigger organization, and healthcare is obviously very much related to a lot of things, but we kind of considered what it would be like for Theo to take on different tasks that aren't necessarily super related to healthcare, but obviously in some ways are. And we kind of talked about how it was important to keep our scope focused on trans people's health and kind of bring in new people before we kind of expand it, so that we make sure that the work we're doing now is like good and like working and like still continues to make sure that the health of trans people in Ottawa is being considered in a way that is by and for trans people. And then we also talked about getting more concrete ways to involve more people, because right now Theo kind of operates on a volunteer basis with like a smaller core group, and we want to involve different members of the community and try and build it so that it's not just this like small thing that's only around for a short time, but that it becomes more sustainable and more holistic in terms of lots of different representation of different trans identities and trans people, because we're so diverse and it's awesome. Is that like?
Mm-hmm. So then we talked about how we optimize participation of community members in Theo's work. So right now there's a small core of people who do the everyday work, and periodically we have town hall meetings. But the question is, having kind of quarterly town hall meetings, is that enough opportunity for people to really get involved, to stay on top of all of the decisions that are being made, or are there ways to make things more transparent and encourage participation? So we talked about how at the beginning of Theo, we all a bunch of us got together and we wrote a letter together. So it was kind of all of us working together. Then it became kind of this small group of people who were kind of doing all the action tasks. And then we kind of report back to the community at town halls. And then it became a small group of people talking to an audience. And that's not really what we want, because the idea is to have all of our voices heard and for us to be building together, with an understanding that it's okay for some people to get more action tasks than others, but how do we keep the conversation flowing among as many of us as possible? So we decided that over the next, say, 6 months, we're going to create a few different types of meetings, which may be overwhelming for some people, and so it's like, don't worry, you don't have to come to everything, but it creates many opportunities for people to get involved in different ways. So what that means is, what we're in agreement with today is that we can have something called open meetings monthly, where Kaya and I, because we're already in the KIND Planned Parenthood space at 222 Somerset Street West, we could put aside a couple hours once a month to so that people who are interested in getting involved can just drop by and have a conversation with us. So anyone who comes by at, say, 4:30 p.m. on the first Monday of the month, Kay and I are here, we'll get some coffee going, and we can talk about what's happening in Theo, what it's all about and how you can get involved. And so you don't have to read through meeting minutes or feel like you need to understand everything before you plug into what's happening. So in addition to open meetings, we'll have update meetings. So that is a time when the people who are involved with the action tasks, which right now is the core group, will be able to kind of do a report back. So it would be probably more kind of talking at people, and then people asking questions and helping us where we are stuck or where we could really use input from community members to help troubleshoot and work through hard issues that we're having trouble kind of making decisions on. So it would be like, like this is what's been happening at the regional planning table for Trans Health Services. This is what's happening with the survey. This is what happened, all those various little projects that are happening. And then the third type of meeting would be, we can call them town halls, that's what we've been calling them, or collaborative action meetings, where hopefully we'll get a larger number of people there and we'll talk kind of as a big open group about values and directions for for Theo as an organization, any special themes that need to be addressed, like the closure of the Hormone Start Clinic at Centertown, as an example. And at those kind of bigger town hall meetings, we could set aside 2 of those every year that would be for voting in an executive. So as we mentioned, we've been working as a core or a collective. We're trying to move towards a more democratic decision-making structure. So we're exploring different ways of voting people in to do those action tasks and to be the kind of everyday decision makers. And what we've been exploring is one option where like a slate or a group of people, so say like 3 to 8 people, we haven't decided, would be selected as an executive, and then we'd have everyone in the community who comes to the meeting vote on whether they would like that group of people to make up the executive for a 6-month period. But what we don't know is, say people vote and they don't like that slate or group of people, then what happens? So Kaden has volunteered to do a little bit more research on that particular type of voting and executive to find out how it works and if it's a good fit for how the community would like to vote in an executive of people to do the everyday operational stuff for Theo. So our action tasks before our next meeting are going to be to do that research. Thank you, Kaden, for doing that. What are the other action tasks, Kea? Do you remember? So
monthly updates. So that would include like a newsletter once a month. So like getting started on that and trying to figure out what day we'd like to have that out every month and like put in like the format and all this.
Then also we'll set up all of those meetings we talked about. So we're going to create a calendar of meetings, put it on the Theo website. And then hopefully people will come, but there may not be kind of like big information blasts every time. It's just all the information will be there so people can come as they want, get the information they want. I think maybe there is 1 or 2 action tasks, but they'll be in the written up meeting minutes because we can't remember them.
Yeah. Yay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Okay.
Go team go.